If you're a heat and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, why should you role play walking away from a lead, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Silverbell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. All right, so I got to tell you a story. The other day, I'm listening to some Jim Camp interviews, and Jim Camp was being interviewed by a guy named Michael Senoff. And Jim was portraying the story like he was a fighter pilot in Vietnam. And Jim was telling the story that they would practice and have conversations about ejecting out of an airplane. And I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. And then, so Jim was super engaged and wanted to know more. So he went and talked to all the people who were part of the process of ejecting out of an airplane and talked about survival rates. And he found that like out of 100 people, 99 people survived. It was a pretty high survival rate versus everybody who didn't survive. And the reason I bring this up is one of the things that everybody wants to talk about is the closing rate, which is fantastic. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. But there's going to be a part where you meet with Mr. Smith, Mrs. Smith, Mr. Jones, Mrs. Jones, and they are not your ideal client. They are nowhere on the map. They are not supposed to ever buy from you. And so what do you do? What do you say? Well, if you don't know what to do and you don't know what to say, it's probably going to be awkward. It's probably going to be weird. And you're going to get to your vehicle. You're going to leave the Zoom meeting. And you're going to go, I wish I was prepared to break up with this person and eject, right? I'm going to use the Jim Camp word, eject. Jim was a brilliant man, by the way. I'm going to eject out of this call. And so if you work for a company, if you're a manager or owner, like this really should be scripted. It should be a polite way to say it. Now, depending upon who you talk to, depending upon what organization you look at, you're either somewhere around 21 days to learn a new habit or about 60 times of saying something before it becomes ingrained. So let's just say, hey, why don't we practice this about 70 times? Why don't we have this conversation a bunch of times over a period of time so that if in case it does happen, you know what to say and you know what to do. Now, here's the thing. If you want to be better at sales, you want to grow your business, you should absolutely join my email publication. Go to this URL, type it into a browser, drop in your name, your email address, and your phone number, and I'll give you the goods. Not in the Facebook group, not the YouTube channel. It's an email publication, okay? So the thing is this should not happen a lot, but you will have times that in your sales cycle, it happens a bunch of times altogether, and then it doesn't happen for a while. If it does happen and you do need to hit eject, I would have a conversation with a sales manager or a friend and say, hey, okay, was I vibing with the potential client? Did I not like them? Was there really something there, or did I make something up? So first and foremost, is it on you? Did you cause this problem? Number two, what led to you needing to leave? Right? I could think of a time where I met with a client and they're like, hey, Scott, potential client, I should say. They said, hey, Scott, I was going to get my roof done. I did get my roof done, and then I sued the roofer. And then I had to get some concrete done. Punchline to the joke, I sued the concrete guy. Had to get my fence done. Punchline to the joke, I sued the fence guy. And I'm like, heads up. You got a pretty good track record of suing everybody. I don't think we should work together. Right? That's pretty much word for what I said. And the person was like, oh, what? You don't want me to sue you? I'm like, no, like nobody gets excited about getting into a lawsuit. This is ridiculous. If you have a setter or you have a dispatcher, sometimes it's the person that you talk to, that the dispatch caused a problem or they accepted a lead that they shouldn't have. Occasionally, it's an office issue. So here's the thing. Be polite. Hey, for whatever reason, I don't think it's best if we work together. If maybe in the future we can, or I don't think we could ever work together in the future, depending upon your circumstances and what's going on. Just be prepared. Emotions are going to be high. And when you reject somebody before they reject you, they're typically very frustrated and very angry. How dare you? Like, it's almost comical. How dare you break up with me before I broke up with you? Don't you know who I am? Don't you know how much stuff I buy? Like, just be prepared. It's almost word for word what I shared with you. So I have my line. I'm sorry. I don't think we're going to be a good fit at this point, and I think it's best for you to look for other solutions. Maybe we can work together in the future, but not today, right? Not today. So be aware. You have to have the early breakup conversation at some point. Why not have it today? Why not train for it? Why not be able to say, hey, look, here's the thing. Based upon our conversation, I don't think that we're going to be a good fit. Why don't we do this? Why don't we break up amicably? Why don't you find somebody else and maybe we can work together in the future or maybe not? Right? Thanks for having me on this call. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for letting me meet with you. Enjoy your evening. Now, this is where the fight starts. How dare you? Don't you know who I am? Just be aware. Part of the gig. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button. Click on it every time I send a video. You'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.